Hello and welcome to the Pittsburgh Center for Creative Reuse Shadowbox tutorial. My name is Daniel and I'll be showing you some basic techniques on how to make Shadowbox art. The items you see here are going to be similar to the ones inside your kit. Aside from the items in your kit, you'll want to have some tools and possibly other supplies. Some are pictured here, but you may also want to use a hammer and nails, screws, your favorite glue, or other items that you have on hand. To begin, play with your supplies until you get an idea of where you want to go. Plan it all out in advance if you want. Just get a general idea, or proceed intuitively, whichever way is most comfortable for you. Remember, this should be fun, relaxing, and stress-free. Once you know where you want to go with your supplies, start building your shadow box in layers. I'm starting here with the background of a small room I'm going to create, and I'm using some scrapbook paper to make wallpaper. In this video, I'm going to be using hot glue to glue most of my items together. Normally I don't use hot glue in my assemblages. I use more permanent mediums, but because it's so quick and easy, I'm going to be using hot glue. But use whichever glue you're most comfortable with. So you can see I have this little cat that was included in my kit, and I'm going to try to make a little scratching post for it out of the straw that was also in the kit, some twine, and a little red cap. Since the cap didn't match my background, I just put some acrylic paint on it, and I used a hairdryer to speed up the drying process. As you can see, this little frame has a deep set backing and it would be hard to glue down, so I'm adding some foam core to fill the gap and give me more gluing surface. To keep the little scratching post I made secure, I'm adding glue to its base and to the back side where it touches the scrapbook paper. To dress up the outside of the shadow box, I'm going to add some ribbon. This ribbon I'm using comes with double-sided tape already on it, but you could use any ribbon and add your own tape or glue. Ribbon is also an option as a hanger for your box. Secure the ribbon to the bottom and sides of the box, then tie a knot with the loose pieces. Hang the ribbon on a nail or hook for displaying your art. I'm not going to be using ribbon as a hanger for this piece. Instead, I'm going to use a little piece of wire and some hot glue and paper to secure that to the back. This is a great option for lightweight pieces. Here I'm using a squeegee and burnishing the tape that's on the ribbon, just to make sure that there's a good adhesion. And here's the finished piece. For this next project, I'm using this type of fabric sample. I just peeled the paper cover off to remove the fabric from its backing. I'm going to use the bottle brush that was included in my kit to make a tree, and a cork to be the pot for the tree. Because the cut of my cork was a little rough, I'm using some fine grained sandpaper just to smooth out the back. To make the bottle brush look a little more like a tree, I'm just tapering the bristles. I'm also going to paint the bristles green using craft paint. I'm going to paint the cork a terracotta color, and to make the cork look more like a pot, I'm going to add some ribbon around the top edge. You can have a lot of fun with corks by cutting and painting them. Like this one I started to paint like a mushroom. Here's a creative reuse tip. Use the backing paper of labels and stickers as a disposable palette for paint and glue. To achieve a greater sense of depth in this project, I'm gluing these old game pieces together to create supports for the pieces of the photographs I cut out earlier. Here I'm scoring and then breaking laminate samples to make plant pot-like shapes to go on either side of my cork planter. If you have a pair of tin snips handy, you can use them to cut the laminate more precisely. I'd already glued in these glass pebbles that you see here on the right, but then I decided I didn't want them there. So I removed them, and a good way to remove unwanted hot glue is to use a hairdryer or heat gun to reheat the hot glue and slowly and carefully peel it off the surface. Projects like this one, the idea is to have fun and be creative. If you make a mistake, you can undo it or use the mistake as a springboard for a new direction. There's so much material in the world to play with. Really don't have to get precious about all of these things. To give the owl cutout a place to sit, I'm using a leftover piece of cork as a hidden perch. The Sharpie on the edges helps it blend into the background better. Here again, I'm using a little piece of wire, this time a twist tie, to create a hanger on the back. And here's the finished piece. The final project of this tutorial will be more of an abstract collage using these elements that I will modify, paint off camera, and show you a different way to hang this type of shadowbox. By using an awl in the edge of the disc, I'm just making a hole, and I'm going to use some heavy-duty thread to make a loop. I'm going to insert the loop end into the hole on the edge of the shadowbox. Once that's through, you're going to take the knotted end and pass it through the loop end, and you will have a hanger. Another option is to keep your thread untied. Thread the two loose ends through the hole, make a knot, trim the excess, and you have a hanger. I have a few spots on the edge of the shadow box to touch up with some paint, and then it's done. And here's the finished piece. If you have a ribbon or tape roll, you can easily make them into shadow boxes. For the ribbon roll, remove one of the paper sides and you can fill the inside with your artwork. For the tape roll, add a small amount of glue to one edge of the roll and place it on a piece of sturdy paper or board. When the glue is dry, carefully cut around the outside of the roll. Here's an example of an ornament I made from a metal cookie cutter. All of these materials came from the Pittsburgh Center for Creative Reuse. Here's another shadow box I made using various found materials, found images, and a wooden box. To see more of my work, go to my website, danielshapiroart.com. To find inspiring materials for your creative projects, go to Pittsburgh Center for Creative Reuse's online store. For more information and images of shadowbox art, check out artists Betty Saar, Louise Nevelson, Joseph Cornell, and search for assemblage art online.